Like, comically huge.
Yeah, but they made him really stupid. They made him like a child in Street Fighter 5. I was like, I don't recall him actually this Street Fighter. Stupid.
The big
Yeah.
Level 1. Rhythm. Say it. CCT Tick 4.
Woo!
We want to make sure that everyone is ready and strapped in, ready to go. And right now, I feel like we have already reached a certain snag already. Do we? Everything was good before. Oh, here we go. Now we're good. All right, now we're set. Excellent. All right, you talk. Yeah, you're good now. All right, groovy. Sorry about that, folks. Once again, Torrance Hudson. Here to bring you all the good news and also the gaming reviews, and we're going to talk about some amazing topics. So, we have some amazing things to talk about today, and let's start with the gaming spit. We actually have to bring up a certain somebody that I really don't want to talk about again. Randy Pitchford. Yeah, Randy Pitchford. Oh man, his name. His name. His name. His name is the bane of the entire gaming industry right now. And right now, he decided to put out a small apology to all the gamers out there for claiming that if you are a real fan, you will do anything you can to get that game that you actually enjoy. And people weren't too happy. People weren't too happy with what his response was. Um, and he wanted to do a formal apology. Get this, get this. He wanted his formal apology is a free game for on Epic on the Epic website. Tiny Tina's uh, was it Wonderland? Was one of those forgotten Borderland games. I mean, some people called it fun. Other people said it was kind of eh. It's like a board, almost like a board game style with dungeon dice and all that stuff. And sorry, it wasn't my cup of tea. But he says, "Oh, all right, we were, and oh gosh, and his quote is right here. Says, we apologize for the giving out those comments. So we are offering a free game for free. He kept on emphasizing the word free. Tiny Tina's Wonderland game you can download now on the Epic Store for free. And the responses are not too positive. He got lambasted all over Twitter, and
That's not surprising.
yeah, what a guy, what a pal, what a awesome, what an awesome guy. He's wow. What are we gonna do with these guys? What are we gonna do with this guy? I mean, guys, please tell me. Tell me what you think about what he did. Right now I have a lot of things to say, but why don't you guys go ahead and shout out and tell me how you feel about that.
This isn't really my wheelhouse, but man, from your reactions when I'm hearing about this guy, it ain't good. And what he's offering is laughable.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw you right there. It's laughable.
it is.
No, it is though. I mean, okay, he's gonna give out this free game at the Epic Store. Okay, but what about the people that only use Steam or only play games in consoles? What about them? Even though this free game doesn't help at all, but it's a joke. That's all I have to say. It's a damn joke.
Catering in like one fan base.
Yeah, that's
She's
it.
ignoring consoles and everything else and just working on the Epic. Steam is huge. It's kind of stupid for him.
Yeah, you would think you would put that on Steam, but I guess not. This whole thing's a joke. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I have a few choice words, and it's definitely not thank you. What he said. I mean, because the receipts are still there. You shouldn't have said it in the first place. And I think he actually erased this quote off of X and pretty much anywhere else. But the receipts are there. Sorry, you put it out there, and now you're gonna be pretty much branded for life for what you mentioned. Look, what you said was wrong. I know. I'm glad you kinda, sorta owned up to it. But for force feeding us a game that pretty much everybody just pretty much forgotten is not it. And also the way you commented on how you actually presented it ain't it either. And people were shouting out. People were saying some really you know truthful things about what you said. So guess what? Sorry, no can do. You have done it. You're landed in it, and that's all I have to say about that. I pretty much don't want to mention him ever again. And now, yeah. Your name is stricken from all my books and tablets, all over my my Twitter page right now. So I'm sorry. You're done. Done and done. All right. Some other heartbreaking news. EA just decided to shut down Code. Just actually going to decide to shut down Codemasters. Codemasters, the ones who actually created the World Racing Championship, WRC for short, created the World Rally games, created some amazing racing games. They are going to be shutting down their doors, and uh, all the employees are probably going to be kind of uh, put to other projects, most likely. Probably Need for Speed, and I think Need for Speed is one of them, and I think there's another one. Um, but I hate bringing up bad news, especially on an awesome channel like this. But it's lives.
It has to be talked about.
Yeah, it has to be talked about. I mean, because right now this is actually happening all over the industry. And Microsoft, they already let go of employees. Also, I mean, I don't know if Xbox was part of it, but I'm pretty sure Xbox teams were part of it too. And also heard some other bad news. I mean, just on top of that, I heard that Platonic, who created who actually, the founders, the Stemper brothers, who actually created the Banjo Kazooie games and what have you for the Nintendo 64. They founded this company called Platonic. Um, and they made I believe it was called what was it called again? Oh goodness gracious, Snake and something, Snake and Roll, I think it was called. I forgot. It actually it was like a spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie. Um, they also send out a love letter to, and but they said it's a sad thing to talk about, but they are going to be letting go employees as well. And this is going on all over the industry. What are your thoughts while I look this up? Yeah, I'm putting the floor out to you guys. What do you think?
Excuse me for you for talk, but if you want me to go, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, it's like you said before, it's happening all over in the industry right now. It's just sad to see that all these employees are losing their jobs, but and especially EA. EA was such a great company, like back in the '90s. One of my favorite games from EA, Electronic Arts, was the Desert Strike game, and it's just a shame that nobody brings these games back. They don't. It's like they don't bring back what made EA so special. Remember the Def Jam game? Oh man, I would love to see another Def Jam, but after we saw Def Jam Icon,
Yes.
but that's what kind of killed the series, and they never returned it. The Fight Night games were great. But now I know that they have control of the UFC games. The UFC games are not that great ever since EA took over them. So I don't know. They're more of a cash grab. I think that EA just lost its way. So they're not the company that we used to love. And the Need for Speed games we have. Remember Need for Speed Underground?
Yes.
Need for Speed Underground 2.
Yes.
Those were fantastic games. So I remember my cousin of mine. We used to play those games together all the time. And then also Electronic Arts. Remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, amazing game. Oh, that's a throwback. Amazing game.
Vampire Slayer on the original Xbox, and then there was a second game called Chaos Bleed. Great game. Great, fantastic game.
Absolutely.
Well, for some, I'm gonna have to crack down.
It's one of the.
I got them on my shelf there.
I tell you what, Tony, you're in for a treat if you can get your hands on an Xbox. To be able to get them, because those games are not available anywhere else. It was like Xbox exclusive. It never came out for any other console, and it was based off the show of the same name, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
the TV show.
The second game, Chaos Bleed, actually came out on the PS2 and the GameCube.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The first game was exclusive to the original Xbox. But they were fantastic games.
Indeed.
I've kind of been done with EA for a while after after what they did to Mass Effect and when they shut down the service for EA MMA, I was kind of done.
Yeah,
and just think from they should bring back some of those retro games because it would bring in money for and they wouldn't have to lay off all these people.
You're right. You're right.
Now speaking from an insider, I mean I've been trying to get a job in this stuff for like a year now. Graduated, and it's almost impossible. So I've chosen to just go indie.
Well,
One way to go nowadays.
so I just actually found that it's actually ukulele. I'm sorry, that's the name of the game. I actually played both games, the US ukulele, and also it was a quasi sequel. Um, that was more like a almost like a board game in a sense. Um, they actually a nice little love note to all the teams off of on X. And it says, I quote, Platonic, a sad note from all of us at Platonic. This is one of the messages we never wanted to have to write. We've all seen in recent years how the game industry has been changing, resulting in studio after studio finding themselves in situations where they continue to exist. They must make painful decisions, decisions that impact the lives of so many individual talented developers. Like others, we felt the knock-on effects, and after exploring every possible avenue, we had to make the incredibly heartbreaking decision to say goodbye to some of the truly brilliant members of the Platonic team. And then it goes on and says, this is a reflection of anyone's talent and dedication, people having pounded so many hearts, pour so much heart, creativity, and care into everything we do. They've helped shape our studio, our games, and our culture. We're really proud of what they built together. And this isn't a simple, difficult moment. It's a period of profound change in how our games created, financed, landscape is shifting, and with it, so must we. And it goes on and on about about thanking the members. You know, it's sad. It's sad that an industry, because Platonic is an indie company. It was self-made, self-published. Stepper Brothers, who has the experience of the Banjo Kazooie series and Conquer. If you actually remember that, I love that game.
Of course.
You know what? And they made a quasi sequel for, I believe it was a game called what was it? It came out for the Xbox, where you could build your own worlds. I forgot all about it. I mean, I didn't put them in show notes. Huh? Yeah, they actually had a.
Conquer did make it to the end, and there was a game for Game Boy. I think it was for the Game Boy.
Yeah, but that was like a top. Yeah.
I know, but
yeah.
it's still a complicated.
It's still, yeah, but not the same raunchy Conquer game that we all know.
Right.
It was more based off of the original Conquer. It was about the original Conquer concept. Remember the original one before they actually decided to go the raunchy way? Yeah. And this was actually towards the latter half of the N64's life, if I'm not mistaken. They actually did a big presentation for that game, and this whole entire crowd, literally blew the decimals off the charts with how much everyone loved it. And became an instant hit, almost a cult classic, believe it or not. But Platonic, they're still creating another sequel. It's called Yuka Replay. Yuka Replayly. They're actually going to go on to make that game, but letting some of the developers, like some of the people who actually created your games, go is almost like a coward's move. I can't say a coward's move. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna say that it's almost a reflection of them not really giving opportunities, in their development studios to kind of branch off a little bit,
Right.
I mean, this is an ongoing thing. I mean, there's no unions at all in the video game industry, not one. There are a couple who attempted but never came into fruition. Ubisoft supposedly was supposed to get one, but of course the head of Ubisoft, and I hate mentioning his name, uh, but he has some allegations against him recently, for harassment. If not, but that's a whole other ball of wax.
Right, right.
And I don't want to get into the politics of that, but it's these are things that are real in gaming, and it ruins it for everyone else. But on the brighter side of news, we have a few amazing games that we are going to be looking forward to, especially next week. Next week is Summer Games Fest. Woo! Woo! Listen,
Friday,
listen.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, next Friday. Summer Games Fest, folks. Let me tell you something. I will try my best to try to cover as much as I possibly can, for the Summer Games Fest on that Friday, which they will have their they're gonna have their special event with Jeff Keighley, with some new surprises and some great announcements for all three platforms. Possibly they'll mention some things for the Switch 2. And of course, later that weekend, there are a few others that are going to probably pop up. But also, yours truly has been invited to a special event. Yes, that's right. I actually got invited to go to LA to see the Xbox showcase in person. Basically, it's going to be a watch party, a huge one, and there's going to be some special guests and yada yada. It's going to be a great time. I get to meet some other podcasters as well. Shout out to Boomstick. I'm talking to you. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you in person. You probably don't remember me, but we crossed paths in Yonkers once or twice. Trust me. If you actually remember Dragons Den, I have seen you.
Oh, Dragon's Den.
Yes,
You'll bring it
and
back.
yes, Dragons Den.
Yeah.
That was like an awesome place to. They actually had tournaments and stuff like that. They played Magic there. They played Pokemon.
They had pretty much everything.
Everything. It was like one of those little nooks and everything. One of the forgotten pastimes of our gaming, and also comic book lives.
Yeah, comic books and comic cards.
Yeah.
You name it, they had it there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We had two locations too.
Oh, that's right. There was two locations, wasn't there? Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Two of them.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's no longer there, and of course, I think the second place actually closed down too, or is it still there? I think it's still over in.
No, they're done.
They're done too. Oh man,
Yep.
that's so sad. That's so sad when it comes to things like that. When you see, when you see great little nooks like that, and they just completely disappear. I mean, you don't see a Barnes and Nobles anymore. They're starting to disappear, and it's so.
Kill an entire afternoon at a Barnes and Noble just looking for the game magazine.
Yes, I listen.
Yeah.
Barnes and Nobles used to have like a whole entire section of gaming magazines. They had like I think EGM to the very last issue, and then Game Pro to the very last issue, and I think they carried Game Fan for as well. The anime magazines.
Yeah, the anime magazines there. I used to look at those.
Yep.
I Shonen Jump there.
Shonen Jump. Yes, that's another one.
Right there.
And
I don't know, but there was a magazine. I forgot the name of it, but I think Vince Entertainment used to release a magazine though that was any upcoming anime that was coming out during the '90s. So
yeah.
I found out about Tenchi Muyo.
Tenchi Muyo. Oh, that's right.
I joined the anime club in high school because of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Great memories.
Then we found out what Vanguard Entertainment was coming out with. That was another great anime that they released anime. That's how I found out about Guyver. That's how I found out about Vampire Wars and Macross, Appleseed.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we are, just finishing up our gaming news. We're gonna hit our first commercial break. And we're going to talk about our first awesome topic. This is going to be a very, very good one. I'm very sure everyone's going to enjoy this.
Everyone listening, feel free to engage, man. I'm watching, man, and I'm really stoked you guys are here listening.
Yeah, listen. Listen. You guys are here. While you're here, please hit the like and subscribe button. Share it to your friends. Let everybody know. Hey, we are here. We are actually doing this for you. And trust me, it's gonna get better and better. And also we want interactions. Please interact. We are. Don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. We are not here. We're not gonna bite you. At least not yet. But anyway, all right. Let's go let's go to our first commercial break, and we will be back shortly. And we're back. Now I'm glad that your the interactions are fantastic. I see that you weren't able to see us, but now you can. I'm very sure you can now. I mean, you want to see our handsome faces? Why not? Let's go on to our first topic, which should be very awesome. There we go. Yes, everybody can see. You can see us now, right? Groovy, groovy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, peekaboo. All right, so let's go on to our first topic. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Now I'm happy.
Yes, great video games with memorable stories that impacted our lives. Growing up, we had some amazing games that really left a huge impression and a huge impact in our gaming lives. And video games were a lot more than just the little blips on the screen. It really carried, either an emotional attachment or something that was so enjoyable. You just want to live in that moment and say, "Damn, I did so well in that game, and I just don't want it to end." And there are so many amazing games that came out probably in the recent years. I mean, some people mentioned The Last of Us, the first one.
The first one. Yes,
Second one is questionable. You know, I don't want
Yeah.
anybody to to get lambast me about it, but I feel like that the first one was really had more emotional attachment, especially when you deal with Joel and you deal with you know the, the the emotional turmoil that he actually went through. Um,
Mhm.
and then of course Life is Strange, which is another one that had some very strong pulled at the heartstrings. You know about just about a girl's life, you know, dealing with you know her sister and her best friend and just and all these things that are going on and her abilities were able to turn back time and actually fix things. It's so good. It's really good. Definitely you should try it. It was made. I believe Life is Strange was made from. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it
I think it's on
was.
Game Pass. I'm gonna check it
No,
out.
it's on Game Pass. No, it's in Game Pass.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
believe it is. Yes, it is.
both games was actually on
Yeah.
Game Pass. Believe it or not, that's
Mhm.
there's
They
three
are.
games. There was three games that came out. Life is Strange. Let me just look. I'm just bringing it up. I mean, there was like three games. I believe it was. All right, I only played two of them. There was one with the little boy. And then there was another one that was the girl with her best friend. They were almost like sisters, but they weren't sisters.
Right.
Life is Strange, and then Life is Strange True Colors, which is the other one. That's the one I didn't play. I didn't get a chance to play that one. And then there was a third one. There was a Life is Strange 2. That's right. Life is Strange 2 was another one.
Mhm.
Right.
I think that was with the little boy and his brother. And I think it was something about his dad. I think it was dad. That's right. It was his dad. Um, and actually no. There was a side story. Sorry, strike that. There was a side story in the game that you were the little boy. The father was the one that you were trying to interact with, and then I think the actual game, Life is Strange 2, was dealing with his older brother. So that's another one that I actually only played a little bit of. I didn't get a chance to play it fully. I want to get back into that game, but the first game I finished. And there was a lot of twists and turns in that. And trust me, it's good. It's so good. Um, but let me talk about games that impacted my life. And I actually wanted. As matter of fact, no, I want to start with you guys. I really want to see what game or maybe you pick a couple of games. You know, what games have you played that impacted your life so much that almost it's pretty much what made you who you are? Let's start with you, Tony.
Oh my goodness, man. You're gonna laugh, man. Street Fighter.
Oh, yes.
Street Fighter. Street Fighter is what
Street
got me to
Fighter.
train.
Ooh, very
Characters like
interesting.
Ryu inspired me as much as like say Bruce Lee or Jean Claude Van Damme.
Oh my.
I've
Okay.
actually me and my friend Anthony were growing up with the martial arts. We'd actually dojo storm, walk in, ask to spar the students. We did the same exact thing as Ken and Ryu,
Oh, really?
and it all started because of that stupid game.
Wow.
It ain't stupid. It's not
Well,
stupid.
the reason we did it was kind of stupid, but I mean, like, the game is awesome. I love it, and as you can see from my background,
Yeah. Well,
I'm
Nice.
still in on it.
Well, you're probably gonna think the same thing, like it's stupid for me. But you want to know what game like actually made me the person I am?
Hmm?
You see this shirt, this Double Dragon
Yeah,
shirt?
buddy,
It was
Yes.
Double Dragon.
that's a
It was
great
Double
shirt, pal.
Dragon.
It's got the old
Thank
school
you.
art too.
Yeah, Billy and Jimmy Lee right in there. But yeah, that game Double Dragon got me into like the not only got me into gaming, but it got me into martial arts because I grew up watching, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up watching Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, the Bruce Lee, the old Jackie Chan movies they used to play on Saturday afternoons on Channel 5 before it became Fox 5. So, yeah, I mean, and then it made me want to get into the martial arts. So it made me who the man I am today. So I got to
Mm.
thank Double Dragon for that because I mean I love the fact it's just two brothers. They're going out there beating up a bunch of punks and criminals just to save their city and the girl. So there, you know.
Well, there is one game that literally completely changed my life. And it came up for the NES, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows exactly what game that is. It's Ninja Gaiden. Ninja
Yes,
Gaiden
Nice.
was like
beautiful.
the most compelling, difficult, but very challenging game that I've ever played in my younger life. I still remember this day when I did so well in school. My mother surprised me with the Ninja Gaiden cartridge. Now, here's the thing: I I read Nintendo Power, you know, I kind of perused things, but Ninja Gaiden completely threw me off. It threw me off the radar. I had no idea this game was coming out. I had no idea this game actually existed. I must have missed it somewhere in some of the pages. I have no idea. But then, of course, there was one magazine that actually showed it flash on the front page of Nintendo Power. I remember it like it was yesterday. And when my mother brought the game, I was so excited. And my Nintendo was kind of half busted, because I have a younger brother, and my younger brother is,
Did you have to blow into the cartridges?
listen,
We
we
all
we,
did.
we did the whole thing. Don't lie, folks. Don't
Everybody
lie.
remembers.
You guys have done
I
it
had
too.
to. I don't have
Everybody
to.
knows
You
it.
blew into
Yeah, I had to do it myself. It was a pain in the
you
ass
blew
to
into the
do.
cartridges. You licked the cartridge. You did all your things. You did the nasty, okay? And you put it into the cartridge, and you did like a little
Q-tip.
wiggle thing and stuff like that, or you even put the cartridge in halfway just to make sure that the game actually doesn't blink. I've done it all. But
I did
but
myself.
oh man, but the NES version of Ninja Gaiden, my goodness, from the title screen itself to the very end of the game. Now,
Probably made you a very patient person too to play it.
hey, listen,
Yeah,
you had to be.
you,
I mean,
you had
I could
to.
have threw my controller at the TV several times, but I was restrained. I was restrained. I feel like I said, you know what? I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna do this bite size. And there's no save screen. There's no save.
No.
You have to play through the game from beginning
No,
to end. There's no save.
Mm-hmm.
but you had unlimited continues though, which
Oh, you had
helped a lot.
yeah, that's true. You had unlimited continues, but it's frustrating because when you continue, you go all the way back to the beginning, especially towards the end. Because when you actually
Oh,
get to a certain point
yes.
Oh
and
yeah.
you
I remember
die,
that.
you go all the way back to all those difficult parts and everything that you thought that you got past, and you just
Hmm.
eh. But that's a whole other ball of wax to myself. But Ninja Gaiden, let me just tell you, its story itself was fantastic from the very beginning. Learning that your father actually supposedly died, during battle, and left a letter to Ryo Hayabusa, and he set out to pretty much look for him, to avenge his father. But then he realized that he got completely caught up with this story about the demon stones. There was two demon stones, light and dark. And then, of course, he actually meets some other characters like Irene Lu, and you have the present professor. I forgot his name.
The
Off the
story
top of
was
my head.
nuts. It was like ninjas meet
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yes, yes,
The cutscenes were incredible at the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was the first game to do cutscenes.
It was the first scene that
as we know.
yeah,
I believe
the
so.
first.
Yes.
It was the
The
first one.
Pac-Man had
The first
cutscenes, but
one.
not like that.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I tell you, man. I feel. I mean, I feel like it really did. It really did make me like a very strong, patient, and also perseverance. Perseverance. You have to have perseverance in this game because there was so many times, there's so many parts that you feel like, oh, I know I could beat that part. I know I can. All nighters. like my mother, would get mad because I kept on playing all night, and I kept on telling my mother, "Oh, I can't pause it." Or sorry, I can't turn the game off because I have to start all over from the very beginning, and all that stuff, and she didn't care. So what I would do is I would turn off the TV, not the console, and have it completely paused. And I think there was one. I think I told you the story. I might as well let the audience know about the story. The one dreaded day. It was the wonderful spring afternoon. I paused the game as usual. Went to school, getting excited because I couldn't wait until school was over so I could actually finally beat the last boss. I was like right there. And to my horror, I walked into my room, and the screen was blinking.
Oh no!
And
No.
yeah, and
Yeah, the NES overheated.
no.
Sucks.
Oh, they don't worry.
The rabbit hole's
No?
getting deeper. The rabbit hole's getting deeper. Milk. There was milk spilled all over the NES.
Oh,
And
that's
the cup, surprisingly, I think the cup was still there. The cup was actually spilt over. I know I didn't put it there. I found out my brother actually went into the room and decided to put the milk thing on top of there because I guess he wanted to play. Maybe he got mad. I have no idea. I still ask him. He's probably denying it. But the milk was spilled all over, and literally my console smelled like rancid milk for as long as I had the console.
Oh,
man.
For as long as I had the
now.
console. Every single cartridge I played, it smelled like rancid milk. Every game I put in there smelled like rancid milk. It was
But it still worked?
Yeah, everything.
Does the NES still work?
It still worked. And listen, let me tell you something.
You were so lucky. You were very
Nintendo
lucky.
built amazing consoles that work through hell and hellfire, flood, you name it. I've been hearing stories about people bashing the bad boy, and it still worked.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I saw people threw their GameCubes like out the window, and it got crashed, and they tried it out, and it still works. Believe it or not.
yeah,
My
Nintendo
N64 fell off the counter so many times. Not a scratch. Still works like a charm.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. Nintendo built some good games. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden was like the game. It was the game, and of course, I got excited when the sequel came out. And believe it or not, the sequel was much harder than the first game. It was one of those games that will literally be the bane of your existence. Number
That's
one.
some cool power-ups, though.
Oh, great power-ups.
The
They
power
took out the spin slash. They took out the spin slash. That's one. But of course, but you do have the after image attack moves, which is pretty cool. And the power ups are completely different. You still had the spinning star moves. You still had all that. But there were certain stages and everything where the wind blows you the opposite direction. There was this train stage. There was this. I mean, and the bosses were much harder. And your jump doesn't do a complete spin. You do a half spin in the air, and then you kind of, do like, and I'm like, dude, it was hard. It was a hard game. The bosses are more unpredictable. They didn't have the same patterns. Still amazing game. Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 3 was the hardest one.
Oh no! That oh my goodness! Oh.
Yeah, that was the hardest one. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 were doable. I mean, they were challenging, but I was able to beat those two. But Ninja Gaiden 3, oh my goodness, took it to another level.
I just revisited 1 and 2. I still have 3 left to do now.
Good, cool.
But I'm playing on an arcade machine, so it's even harder with the joystick.
Yeah, you know what?
It's really frustrating.
They actually had that game
I have my
on
NES Mini though.
top was it called the NES top 10 or top 10 10 something Nintendo 10 what's it called again? You know, but it had 10 games, 10 selective games and you could play it in the arcade. I think Ninja
Oh
Gaiden
yeah,
was
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah. I saw that in Japan, and
Yes,
then
I remember
I seen
that.
in
Yes.
cartridges that were shipped
yeah
over here,
yeah
bootleg cartridges.
that
Yeah.
was like those are the ones that really were pretty awesome, you know, and
I
I
remember
think
those.
Nintendo had standalone games too, like Mario Brothers and
They'd have
Versus.
like 30 in one,
What was that
depending
game?
on the.
What
They'd
was?
have 30 in
Yeah.
one cartridges on the Famicom in Japan.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
30 in one.
My goodness. But
Yeah.
let's talk. Let's go even further down this hole, because you know certain games.
Sure.
So you know certain games that had powerful storytelling. There's certain games that actually change lives, like we already mentioned before. I mean, so people are actually going to land and say, "Listen, why come you didn't mention Halo?" Yes, Halo is one of those games that really did change people's lives. I mean, this is like one of those games that you know college dorms talk about. It's one of those
Of course.
games where people actually gained relationships with, you know, met their future fiance through, and
Yo, I've heard they saved lives
Yeah.
through
save
Halo. Some guy
lives.
locked himself outside.
I heard
In
about
like,
that too. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
he was like in Canada or something like that, like somewhere cold. And
Yeah.
he stepped outside for a cigarette, brought his controller, still had his headset on. He's like, guys, locked myself out. Call for help. They, the buddies he plays
I
with
heard
saved
about
his
that.
life.
Yes.
He could have froze to death
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, he could have. He could have. And that's
Yeah.
that's amazing, isn't it?
So talk about changing lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you know, and let's not forget. Let's not forget games that actually help you get choices, like Mass Effect. Everyone's big. Everyone. This is not.
I
This
love
is
Mass
not.
Effect.
Listen, Mass
Mass
Effect.
Effect.
Never played a
Oh,
better story than Mass Effect.
Mass
Never.
Effect. You know,
Oh,
when you
man.
actually deal with, you know, you can either become a paragon, or you can become what was the evil side of it?
Renegade.
Renegade.
And your
There you go.
choices
And your
actually
choices
have consequences, man. It's amazing.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Fable.
You had to be
Yeah, I loved it
cautious
when
of what
they
you picked.
tried it out on Jade Empire first, and then I was like, okay, same company, I'm gonna like this. Sorry, I get excited, man. I love those two games.
Yes.
I gotta replay Jade Empire again. That was such an amazing game.
Amazing.
But there's of course choices and consequences. Games like Fable, another one. Fable 1
Another
in
one?
particular.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you know that where you basically what you do in the game changes the outcome of the entire game, the story, the character.
That's right.
And some people even said themselves. They said, "Man, this game made made me who I am, and I actually enjoy it." See, Dorian actually mentions here he loves Fable. Man, listen,
Yeah.
Fable really did kind of push the narrative. I mean, well, what was it? What was the writer's name that created the Fable series? And he gave away.
Oh.
You know, he actually decided to I guess he gave it up or something like that. He thought outside the box a lot. I even forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot his name.
I remember his name. I think it was French.
Yeah.
Lionhead Studios, Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux. Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Yes, Peter Molyneux. He actually
Right.
had these very strange ideas for the game, and he said that the game would actually have like is a living, breathing world. He mentioned that basically the story will actually live beyond you in a sense. You can be able to get married, you can actually get divorced, and you can in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
And you can actually do very evil deeds and everything, and create your character. The character will reflect on how you are, and what you do. I didn't really. I mean, Fable 2 actually, believe it or not, was really capitalized on all of that. And it was a very dark. It took a very dark turn because you had an opportunity to choose either the boy or the girl, the sister or the brother, and based on who you chose, it actually carried on the story. I think it was, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. I think it was no. I think that was Fable 3 that actually did that. Fable 2, I think it was just the boy, if I'm not mistaken. Was it the boy? Hold on. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was only the no, actually no, it was the girl too. Hold on a second. I'm getting my games confused here. Hold on a second. It's been such a long time since I played Fable. Please, Fable, the new Fable, Microsoft, Xbox, come on. Show us more. I want to know what the heck is going on, man.
Yeah.
You're neglecting one thing about Mass Effect. With the choices you make, they carry over into the sequels.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, they did.
That's how massive that is, man. No other game I know has done that.
There's actually a game that I don't know if you guys remember it. Do you guys remember The Suffering?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another great game.
I do.
Remember after you beat the game, like rather you have the good ending, the so-so ending, and there was a bad ending. Whatever ending you had, you get to carry that to the sequel, The Suffering, The Ties That Bind. and then it'll start you off like, yeah. So that was one game that did that as well. So any of the choices you did in the game, it affects what ending you got. Same thing with the sequel.
You know,
which I thought it was amazing.
They need to bring something like that kind of mechanic back. They need to bring something like that to you. Whenever you have whatever consequences you actually did in the first game, you should be able to carry it on to the sequel. I feel
it doesn't have to be consequences. It could be also anything that whatever good deeds you've done in that game, you know, it can also affect into the next game.
Oh no, there's good consequences and there's bad consequences. I mean, I'm just saying in general,
Correct.
You know, whatever choices you actually make will carry on to whatever you're doing in the next game.
Right.
Based on who you actually killed. Like, for instance, and everything, when you actually kill a certain character in Mass Effect and everything, you will not see that character in the sequel at all because they're dead.
No.
Hey, listen. No. That makes perfect sense.
I don't want to give any spoilers, man. It's so good.
It makes it.
Even though it's been out for like a decade.
Yeah, but
I don't want to give any spoilers. I want everyone to give that game a shot. Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
unless they did play it, but if you guys haven't played it, I don't know where you guys been, but definitely give it a try.
You have to listen. All these games impacted lives somehow. So I'm gonna throw it to the chat, guys. Tell me what game really brought you into what game actually impacted your lives, and what game actually stuck with you that you actually just you pop it open and the rush of nostalgia would just kind of just take over. You know, why don't you go ahead and just leave your comments and everything and let me know what you did. Also, if you like any of the content that we're doing right now, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. I'm going to keep on preaching that. We are almost there. We got about another 15, 12, 13, 14. I forgot how many. We actually have 78 subscribers right now. 78.
79.
Sorry, 79. 79.
Yeah.
We were almost there. We were almost at the 21.
79, baby.
21 more. 21. You know, come on.
Yeah. Remember, guys, liking and subscribing is free. So
it's always free.
Like I said,
see, Dorian's Vital. They like Street Fighter 2 too. See?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But like I said, if we get 100 subscribers, we're probably gonna do a free giveaway. So.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So please, and also we'll talk about our Patreon and everything. I got something special for that. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we are going to be going to our second commercial break, and we will be back very, very shortly. So stick around, folks. It's gonna be a doozy.
challenges you with the ultimate video games. Games that'll blow you away, like Alex Kidd in Miracle World. And coming soon, Monopoly. Knockout games like Rocky. Gangster Town. Shift into more excitement with the arcade hit Outrun. Only on the Sega system. Sega, the challenge will always be there.
A bear, barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him stronger, faster, softer, better. The new battle tanks, Global Assault. Stronger, faster, better.
And we are back, folks. We have another great topic to talk about, and this one right here is actually kind of tugs at my heartstrings a little bit, and I'm pretty sure everyone could actually agree. Everyone likes peripherals, right? You know, everyone's dealt with the peripheral now and then. You know, just starting back to the Atari. Remember the paddles they actually had, and then of course, the little touch button ones and what have you, and also for the Amiga, also, the Commodore 64 with the keyboard, and you could play with controllers. Well, we can also talk about light guns, and which is another thing. But I noticed that nowadays, even with the NES, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention NES. Oh, come on, man, the light gun. Light gun was packaged in the family pack, and then of course they had the core one. They had the core console, but the family pack had the light gun. The Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. Everybody's played it. Everybody's played it, and I just
And everyone's pissed off at that dog.
Oh, listen. If there was ability to shoot that dog and actually put it out of its misery,
I've tried many times. Nothing happened.
I mean,
We all tried.
Wishful thinking, but we all tried.
especially the harder parts and everything where you shot the bird and for some odd reason you're not shooting it. Oh, goodness. And then
No.
you
Yeah.
cheat, and then you cheat, and you bring the light gun to the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys know that the second controller, you can control the duck with the controller?
Oh, as a matter of fact,
Yeah. Yeah,
my
I know about that.
Not back then. I found that a couple years ago, but I had no idea back then.
I think my sister was fooling around with the controller one time, and that's when I found out that she could actually control the bird. She was having a blast. I was not. I mean, because just it was frustrating because I could not hit the bird, not for my life. It was just so frustrating. But but let's talk about that. I mean, besides light guns, we're talking about like Dance Dance Revolution with the dance pad and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And now that a lot of consoles are now in the 4K with the 4K screens and what have you, you try to pop in any of these old consoles with the low light guns, and you'll see the cursor kind of bouncing left and right and center because those light guns were built off of the tube screens, and that's the way they were built because it was reflected back into the light gun itself, and it actually detects the light from the flash.
Mm-hmm.
They don't exist anymore, at least not on console. PC right now, they actually have a lot of peripherals that you can actually get now, made from third-party companies for certain games, but console has gotten the shaft a lot.
Where have they?
A lot. I mean, and it's almost a travesty, and it's even more of a travesty that these devs, these companies, they decide, oh, let's bring them House of the Dead. Let's bring the House of the Dead remake. Let's do such and such, whatever. I mean, let's bring these games back, but the games don't work with regular controllers. Now, I mean, granted, the Nintendo Wii actually had the Wii remotes and everything, so that's as close as you can get. And it also had the attachment that you can actually put together to use it as a light gun.
Yeah, they had those adapters
which is a
that you
good
could just plug right in.
which is a step in the right direction. I mean, it is. But what about the consoles that like the more advanced consoles? Like the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, for instance, or the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X and S. There was no peripherals made at all, licensed by the way, for the consoles at all. And there are games that needed to be used. They needed like light gun peripherals and stuff like that. And games like Dance Dance Revolution and Guitar Hero, all those games are kind of went the way of the dodo with all these newer consoles. And now with Xbox with their backwards compatibility program, and they have Activision, no Guitar Hero. Where is it? Rock Band, I believe they're supposedly going to be doing with Rock Band. That's EA, and now we already know what's going on with EA. So Rock Band ain't going to go nowhere. Really, what are we gonna do? I mean, what are your thoughts? Why do you feel that these companies are not willing to invest in peripherals that are necessary for consoles?
Let me lead off with, I want to send a request to Konami. Please, home versions of Time Crisis and mocap boxing. Wait, were they Time Crisis?
No, I think Namco was Time
Crisis. Namco was Time Crisis.
Okay, well, Konami, bring them, bring mocap boxing. I want a home version of mocap boxing. And Namco, I want Time Crisis.
Yeah, what about Lethal Enforcers? Because that was made by Konami.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Lethal Enforcers! And what about games from Midway? What's it called? Area 51.
Area 51, Revolution
X. Yes. Oh yes, bring it back. Revolution
X. To answer your question,
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Oh goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That's a travesty. Didn't bring that back. I remember I remember playing it for the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and they had their own peripherals, but they need to bring an arcade perfect version of those.
Oh yeah.
To answer your question regarding that, why they're not making peripherals, I think they think it's abandoned technology. They saw everything with the Wii, and they're like, okay, Nintendo has that covered. Wait, does Nintendo have a patent or anything on that? The motion controllers, anything.
Well, no, because Nintendo does have.
It feels like they just abandoned it because they think it's outdated technology. People don't want to play
missing out
rail
on a lot.
shooters. What's selling today are the first-person shooters. You know what I mean? I'd
It's a
personally
shame,
love a
though.
light gun rail shooter versus a first-person run around all over the place. And I spend more time dying in those than playing anyway.
Well,
You want?
here's a few thoughts. I mean, Johnny, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I wanted to add into the thing though, to the conversation. I mean, why not just bring all these rail shooters? I see a lot of people that still love these rail shooting games. Me, for my Nintendo Wii, I enjoy playing Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles and Resident Evil: The Dark Side Chronicles. And I had the zapper thing where you click the Wii remote right into the gun and you're shooting all the zombies and monsters. Those are fun. And I don't understand why Capcom doesn't release these games on the current consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X and bring this out on the Switch though and come out with their own light guns. I guarantee you they will make a big cash grab with those games though. Those are fun though. They're missing out. And then what really gets me frustrated is that they're releasing the House of the Dead 2 remake. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but I'm gonna take a quote from the crazy nuthead from The Simpsons. When are we gonna get the freaking guns? That's what I mean, come on. You can't play those games with a controller.
Oh God, no, yeah.
You got to have a light. You got to have light guns. You have to bring light guns. Otherwise, it's going to be a dud.
Well.
So that's my take on that.
Basically, the way I see it, I mean, there's three different reasons why peripherals should return, and you know what, the industry should really take notice because peripherals are fun. Peripherals actually do enhance the experience, and the fact of the matter is, for goodness sake, video arcades are still around, and there are companies like Raw Thrills that still do light gun type games. Like there's a Tomb Raider one that came out, and there's the Jurassic Park
there's
one,
a Halo.
and Ghostbusters one. Listen, light gun games still. And also the 343. The industries they create that had their hands on Halo. Come on, man!
Yeah, they have a Halo one.
Why not bring that Halo light gun game home? I mean, if they exhausted itself in the arcade, you can extend it even further and make more money by bringing it home.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Exactly.
It doesn't make.
They just announced it. And they announced today that they're going to do a Contra one that's coming out in the arcades, though. So,
see?
Here's another thing.
Come on,
That's foolish.
Yeah.
Why big screen TVs are readily available to people now. Light gun games would be perfect.
Absolutely.
Well, so these are a couple of things that I actually written down that reasons why they should definitely bring peripherals back. Number one, they create unique gameplay experiences. Facts. Light gun games make arcade shooters like Time Crisis, House of the Dead. I can go on and on. Confidential Mission that came out in the arcade and also came home. Of course, we already mentioned House of the Dead.
Virtual Cop.
Virtual Cop. Thank you. Yes, Virtual Cop. They even had a Virtual Cop sequel that came out. I think was recently. Another one, the third one, I think it was, or something like that. That came out. I forgot what it's called. Virtual Cop something. Elevator Action.
I'll have to look into that.
Elevator Action, another one. They made a light gun game at an elevator action, bro.
Oh yeah.
Come
I used
on,
to love
man.
Carnival.
It's right in our intro.
Carnival never came home.
Never
Another
came
one.
home. No. Love that game.
Yeah. So dance pads, another thing that needs to return. Listen, I get it. You know, with the Just Dance and stuff like that, you can use your app on your phone and stuff like that. It's not the same experience. Listen, I'm sorry, it's just
no.
You're dancing and you're wailing a freaking controller around and thinking that that's part of the experience. Trust me, it's almost like running to the train station and everything with your phone in your hand, hoping that you don't lose it. Look, it's not the same. All right, so some things are just not made the same. Like the Dance Dance Revolution need to come back. I'm telling you right now, Konami needs to get off their high horse and bring freaking Dance Dance Revolution back. And of course another one, what's it called again? It was called Beat Mania. Beat Mania is another great game that came out. That's also from Konami. I heard that Congo Bongo, the game that came out for, it's coming out for the, I believe, I think that's, that came out from Namco. You know, they actually already are working on bringing the peripheral back. They're on the right track. But
Y'all
come
gonna
on,
laugh.
yeah.
Oh,
They
what's
need.
that?
You know what? The only good game, the only rhythm-based game I was good at was Samba de Amigo. Because when
Yes.
Oh,
I was
they
working at
have to break.
GameStop when that came
Oh my
out,
God,
and when it was slow, I just played all day.
that's such a fun game.
Samba de Amigo.
And then
So
there was
fun.
the Donkey Kong Country with the drums when you had to bang on with the
Yeah,
drums.
yeah. Speaking of
That's a
awesome
good
peripherals,
one. They gotta bring that back. Come on.
Yes. Yeah, they could. They can.
Come
You
on,
know,
Nintendo.
if they know what's good for them, they should actually have it as a packet. Listen, if you bring a
it'll
game
sell.
peripheral,
Of course.
have a pack-in that's based off of that, and then have that peripheral compatible with more games, and you have more consoles that actually will, that use this technology. Why not share it? You know, and of course, Guitar Hero is a no-brainer. I don't understand what's going on. I know they talk about licensed tracks and what have you. Listen, I know you won't be able to bring them back, but you can do a new Guitar Hero game. There's so many new tracks and old tracks and all that stuff. The library of music is so extensive.
Oh.
You don't even have to have the real artist. I believe the first two games actually had artists that did a rendition of a certain game, a certain song or whatever. It wasn't even the real artist.
So they were covers.
They were covers.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
what it was.
you could do covers. You don't have to have the actual, like, I understand it did, I think, a Guitar Hero Beatles version, I think it was, or was that Rock Band? I think it was Rock Band that did that.
No, Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock
Band was
Band.
Beatles.
You know, I think they did an Aerosmith one too. Wasn't it not? It wasn't an Aerosmith or something. I forgot what band it was.
No, I think it was an Aerosmith one.
It was an
I
Aerosmith one, yes.
I walked past one. I think there was one.
Guitar Hero, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, come on. These opportunities are so blatantly in your face. People had so much fun with Rock Band because you not only get the chance to play with a guitar, but you had the mic. Someone could be on the mic.
Yeah.
Someone can actually play with the drums.
Yeah.
Someone can actually had the second guitar. You know, could do the bass. Listen, come on, man. Money, so much money, and people spend good money on that.
They should market these games to karaoke fans.
I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. It makes no sense at all. And I don't know why I'm getting so blurry.
They should make like
okay.
You imagine rock band bars instead of karaoke. So they're not just singing; they're up there playing the instrument as well as the singing.
Of course.
That sounds like a blast. Some bar should take that up. Take that idea up.
Yeah.
I get a cut if you guys do it.
Absolutely. That's one thing that they don't do. Is like they don't go back and they said, you know what, people actually enjoy this. Let's bring this back.
Yeah, and it gets people playing together instead of staring at each other through a screen. You know, it's better when you're all together playing.
Of course.
It's really
together.
I had the choice. I'd live life more like not through a screen.
Yeah. A second thing I actually mentioned, because everyone's been talking about physical activity. It keeps you moving. Wii Sports was huge. That actually sold consoles. It wasn't even like a game game. It was Wii Sports, bro. Wii Sports sold that's the reason why the console sold so well. Wii Sports was their the golden goose.
It catered to
for the console.
Everybody could play.
Everybody. Grandfathers.
Yeah.
Your little baby sister. Everybody played it. And it was so easy to pick up and play. It wasn't even that hard. You know, even if you didn't do it completely right, it still was fun. You and it had multiple games. You could do Wii bowling, you had Wii golf, and you had Wii what was it?
We got to get up and play Wii bowling, all three of us.
Oh my gosh, we
I'm
One of
both.
us got a Wii.
No. I'll probably tear you guys apart, but that's
Come
all right.
on.
You know, hey,
Man.
listen. Let the
Just
let the
play, it's
realism
fun.
settle in.
I'm not good either, man. Just play.
Yeah, exactly. We're not trying to.
I'm competitive. I'm a competitive man. When it comes to those games,
Oh, you're like that. Okay.
I
All
am a
right.
very
All right.
competitive man. Don't worry about it. I'm not
Okay.
so loser. I'm not so loser. You know,
I'll still play you.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll still play. I don't
Oh,
care.
indeed. But yeah, they encourage physical activity. You know, especially with the Guitar Hero. Oh my goodness! You want to talk about music that will make you sweat? Everyone's seen the infamous Dragon in the Flames. I think it was the Fire in the Flames. I think it was called. That song from Dragon. What's it called? Dragon Force. Through the Fire in the Flames.
Okay, what about it?
That song was so difficult. Literally, it was on the Richter
Yeah.
scale of difficulty when it came to Guitar Hero. They actually had that particular song, and I saw it, and I said, "No." This guy literally had almost a perfect playthrough in that game in that particular song.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't that recent? I think that was recent
no,
though.
no, that
Somebody.
was years ago, years and years and years ago. Of course, everyone I tried to emulate the same thing, but there was only one guy who actually did it once and actually did it, and I think it was like
Wow.
99 point something percent.
Incredible.
You know, yeah, incredible,
That's hard.
absolutely. Listen, you had to have a lot of dedication and nimble fingers for that. Unless he's already a guitar player, because if you are, kudos, man. I mean, that's ridiculous. Now, also another thing, it adds a layer of nostalgia and fun. Once again, we mentioned about if you played in the arcade or you played it at home, and then you have also like a thriving modern gaming. Now, this is I'm gonna put out my points, which I have several, and I actually have a lot of sub notes in this. So buckle up. Number one, VR and motion controls have revived some of the experiences. Everyone knows that, but dedicated peripherals could enhance them further. Fact. People don't just want to use a little wand to shoot things in the air. People want the actual experience, you know, or air guitar. No one does the air guitar thing. I mean, unless you play the air guitar championships or something like that. I have no idea.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. No, of course not. And then, of course, imagine updated light guns with modern tracking technology or wireless dance pads for home setups. All right, I have a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. We were talking about light guns. Let's talk about the light guns. um, let's talk about games like Blue Estate, Grand Shooter. Those games came out recently. Imagine games actually having sub modes, like we already mentioned about Call of Duty has a zombies mode. Cyberpunk could actually do a third, like a first person type of like rail shooter type of game. These are money making opportunities that these companies can do, and it's very minimal because you can use the same assets from your game, the game that you have now,
Yeah.
and you could bring them to the modern age with a real like freaking shooter.
It just takes
Absolutely.
repositioning the camera and messing around with the code a little bit, man. I can probably turn something first person shooter into VR.
Yeah,
Right.
shameless plug, Devs. I'm giving you free money. I'm giving you free ideas. I'm not even asking you for a dime for any of the ideas I'm plucking out the air for you. You actually have these opportunities right now to bring out awesome peripherals for the modern age. And you know what? these are so reciprocal, and they felt like they were losing money, but that's not true. The fact of the matter is that you're not promoting it enough. And now the timing is right because everyone's been going to the arcade and seeing these light gun games from all these other companies, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have an experience like this at home." And not everybody wants to go to the arcade. I mean, we already talked about in an earlier episode, but we're talking about bringing the opportunity to bring those games home with added features.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, why
Absolutely.
not? Why not? You know, I mean, there's also games that can also use the dance pad. We're talking about the dance pad. Just Dance can use a dance pad. I mean, an actual dance pad, not just flailing your arms in the air and stuff like that, and hoping that you're actually staying in sync.
Yeah.
Beat Saber, we already mentioned that. Beat Saber could actually have a dance pad move, so you could be able to go left and right and stuff like that with the dance pad. Can you imagine that?
Yo, you can work on your footwork.
Or work on your footwork.
Yeah.
Or how about High Five Rush?
With your sword swinging.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what that reminds
me?
Yeah, you know what's amazing that you just brought it back to me. I remember the Kinect. They had a UFC workout game. Now imagine you could use the
I remember that.
for that one. Remember that?
Yeah.
That could be something that could be invested in. That would be good to help people like lose weight or get in shape. I'm telling you.
That's why I loved Wii Punch Out.
That's right.
Game
Yeah.
Punch Out. I couldn't get enough of it.
That's so
that
awesome.
was such a great game.
So awesome. And also there's another game. There's called Step Mania. How about this? You know, make another type of game that's similar. It doesn't have to be Dance Dance Revolution. Why not have something that's the same within the same style of DDR? Maybe something different.
I got a great idea.
You know,
it doesn't
have to be the same. It could be something completely different. You know,
right?
These are opportunities. So like I already mentioned before, Blue Estate was like one of those small indie games that came out for the Xbox and also the PlayStation. It was a rail like shooter that was pretty funny and fun. And then of course there's Grand Shooter, which is also those games could use light guns. And then let's talk about Steam. There are hundreds of games on Steam right now that could utilize a light gun. Okay, there's a company out there that actually created a amazing light gun, and this is something that I think is a completely missed opportunity. Why not have certain developers, or better yet, certain companies? I won't mention any names. Xbox. They should work with Sinden. Sinden actually made these amazing light gun peripherals that have 1-to-1 precision, that actually use an actual camera on the light gun itself and can detect what's shot on the screen. And all it needs is a certain what do you call it? Certain light bar or whatever that detects you're at the edge of the screen. They can do amazing games. Light gun games. All types of light gun games. They already have the Sinden light guns working with modded freaking arcade cabinets that these people make from scratch, and they work flawlessly. And I don't understand. Yeah. And I just don't understand why they just don't want to dip their toe into something like that. Were they afraid they're going to lose millions of dollars? No, you're afraid because you don't want to bring it out there. You don't want to make it the peripheral. How do I put this?
It is frustrating.
Yeah, how can I put this lightly? I mean, I can't even put it lightly. I really can't. It's a huge missed opportunity. It's a shot across the bow for gaming and fun. You know, they're concentrating so much on the controller experience and they don't even bother to explore outside the realm of a possibility of bringing something back. Nostalgia right now is huge in the industry right now. People want that experience again. People find that as a lost art. You know, people are frustrated right now. They're going out into certain malls and certain places and everything that sell classic games, and they can't seem to find those particular games. Why? They marked up the price too high because now the collectors are starting to archive these games now, so now it's starting to become out of reach for the average gamer. It's sad. It's almost criminal.
Yeah.
You know, games are supposed to have that certain nostalgia. Games are supposed to have that certain push. But what do you think? I mean, what do you got? I mean, can you help me out here? What do you got?
Like I said before, I told you before that Sega and Forever Entertainment, they're bringing back the games, but they're not bringing the accessories. Like I said, they're coming out with the House of the Dead 2 remake. And it was like, like I said it before, like how the hell can you be able to even play that game if you don't have the light guns? I mean, I remember playing it on the Sega Dreamcast. They had the light guns, so why can't you do it with that one?
Without a light gun, House of the Dead 2 is just going to feel like a really boring first-person shooter where you can't even move around. You're just aiming and clicking, point and click.
Yeah, it's boring. Why the hell would I want to play that?
You release those games, it's going to flop. No one's going to want to play that. They want to play the actual, speaking on nostalgia, they want to like that.
Yeah, I got a huge 4K TV, and I would love to play the House of the Dead 2 remake on that with the light guns and with my with a friend of mine and play it together and have good times.
And with how readily available,
we're not going to sit down. We're not going to sit down like this and move the cursor. Oh, there's something. Let's move the cursor there.
Yeah, like I said, a really boring first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Now, light guns don't even need to be that expensive. They work exactly like your TV remote or your wireless controller. Why? They don't even have to be expensive. They can crank these out and mass produce them. Everyone can have a light gun game. They're super easy to make. They work at the same frequency.
Right.
I agree. Look, basically, let's put it this way. Light guns are making right now. There's rumors, and this is rumors and speculation.
Please be true.
It's not even real.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
they're
all thinking about it. I have a feeling that these companies are sitting right there and thinking about the possibilities. Listen, why not pull the trigger now? You don't have to wait until the next generation. You can pull the trigger now. The market is already saturated. You have already hit the pinnacle of how many players you can get out there. Right now, I believe there's 60 million PlayStation 5s, a little more than 60 million PlayStation 5s out there. There's about 35 plus million Xbox Series X owners. And I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of millions of Switch owners. Now, Switch already has the technology in their light guns, and the Switch 2 is coming out, but it's going to be using this. I'm not going to say silly. I'm not going to be that cruel. I'm just going to say it's more of a niche thing with the mouse controls, so you could be able to use it as a mouse with both hands. What are we doing
it's still
here?
Not the same regardless.
Are we going back? Yeah, are we going backwards? Because I believe I've used something like that. I mean, I have this right here. I've had it. I've used it. Hell, I bet yet I even used it on my.
Show their mouse.
I mean, come on. That's just a poor choice. That's a poor choice. Why not go a step further, and make the light gun opportunity better? And you don't. I don't get it. But right now, light guns. Light guns right now are making a possible comeback. Number one, we're talking about the modern technology. Sinden controllers have the technology. They've been dealing with dealing with this technology for almost past a decade. A little over a decade now. And I remember when these games were in beta. And I was hearing about it, and I said, "Oh, this is so cool! I can't wait. Why not? You know, this is back when Xbox One was actually pretty much at its prime." I said, "Oh, that'd be great to bring out the light gun technology, so we could actually be able to hit awesome games because there was some light gun type games that came out that deserves to actually bring, but no, they don't want to use it. And then of course, people were talking about VR and AR integration, like games like Pistol Whip and Super Hot. Those games came out. You can actually be able to use dedicated light guns for some games like that, especially Super Hot. So, can you imagine a game like Super Hot? Where you literally the motion of your controller actually continues it's almost like putting things in slow motion. Like every single time you move, everything moves with you, and you can be able to dodge bullets and shoot bullets out of the air and stuff like that. And you stay still, everything stays still. It's almost like a pause button. Games like that would be an interesting experience that could be enhanced.
And that would be very easy to do too.
Oh
Very
my
easy
gosh,
to
you
do.
could do so much with the technology. It's like, and of course, everyone's been
It's
talking
just
about.
positioning a camera. That's all it is when you're developing the game. All it is positioning a camera and coding so it follows.
My gosh,
It's that easy.
It's so simple. I mean, the technology is not even that new. It's not even that new. It's not new at all. I mean, and it's probably relatively cheaper now.
Yeah.
You can. They have technology on these tiny little phones right now that uses the same thing.
Right.
And that's pennies to the dollar. I don't understand it. I really don't. And the technology is compatible with practically almost everything. I mean, come on. And also we gotta talk about arcade nostalgia. Arcade nostalgia is a big thing too. I mean, you can. I mean, all these great, amazing games that came out back then, like Operation Wolf.
Oh god.
And it's
yeah.
and it's
Let's see it's a place
right.
game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let me throw you a little nugget. What's it? Nescom or Nowcom or something like that. They created the RoboCop game that came out recently.
Right.
Imagine this, bringing out a kind of like not a quasi sequel, but pretty much within the same RoboCop universe. Make a light gun game based off of RoboCop. I mean, they did it with Terminator 2. Why not with RoboCop?
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity. That's a huge missed opportunity.
Shoots everything that moves.
Oh my god!
They made a light gun game of RoboCop.
Oh, forget it, dude. That'll sell like hotcakes if they would do something like that.
I would
through that drug den from the movie scene with a light gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about, which I don't understand. And of
leaving
course,
money on the table.
Listen, money on the table, staring you straight in the face, and then you talk about dance pads. Another one, a revival in dance rhythm games.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, Ring Fit, and Beat Saber. We already talked about that. Stepmania, all these games. Come on, these games are screaming money. And then, of course, we have to talk about a couple of things, though. I mean, there's a couple of caveats. I always got to look at the dark side of it because everyone's looking at the light side. Let's look at the dark side. I can see. I had to look on their perspective. So they're probably thinking about two things: cost and accessibility. Now, they said that peripherals, even mass producing them, are pretty expensive to produce. But once again, crowdfunding. Which actually the Sinden project, the Sinden light guns were crowdfunded, and now you can actually readily buy those light guns. So that helps. And then of course, game developers. Without game developers, without the games, the light guns are just pretty much a pretty little plastic piece and everything standing on your putting on your desk or what have you, and unused. Oh, well, I already played my fill of 5 or 6 games, and there's nothing else coming out for it. So now I'm just going to wrap it up and put it into my little drawer. Which
I-
I mean, everyone's been through it. You know, Virtual Cop 2, those games right there, fantastic. House of the Dead. I think it was like that's good. That's a good handful right there. Sony PlayStation, the OG PlayStation. They had a few light gun games that were actually different, like Mach X, and I could think of another one that used light gun.
Yeah, there was Ninja Assault
Ninja Assault, another great game.
from the,
Yeah,
yeah.
that used light
I,
gun
I,
technology.
yeah, I already mentioned Resident Evil, Blood Chronicles, and Dark Side Chronicles. That's another good one.
Yeah. So chat. I want to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you feel that peripherals have an opportunity right now to make a huge comeback? Please write down your comments. Let me know. Also, once again, like and subscribe. We are almost at the 100 mark. Please. I'm pretty sure that you like that content and you want to see more. Interact with us, share with your friends. But we need that like and we need that subscription so that way we can actually have the algorithms build us up so we can actually give you more so that you get the newer episodes sooner. But we're going to hit our final commercial break and we're going to be right back because this one right here is going to be really hitting home. Turn up the treble.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
Me too.
Where's that tiger? Where's that tiger? There's that tiger. Where's that tiger?
Rated M for mature.
Hey!
Play with a friend or play with yourself. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Tecmo. 100% games.
For hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.
All right. Okay. So for our final topic, let's talk about soundtracks, folks. We are all about turn up the treble, and of course, it's very, very simple. But it'd be a travesty if we don't mention anything about music. Everyone's had that certain soundtrack that just repeats in your head, and you just can never get rid of it. I'm not gonna hum the Super Mario Brothers theme because I don't want Nintendo to freaking take my channel down or do a copyright claim. So I'm not doing
That's
it.
the last.
I
That is
am
the
not
last
doing
thing
it.
we need.
It's not happening. I'm not doing it. But yeah, I think soundtracks right now are so important to all types of games because it really brings the story to life in a sense. So let's talk about legendary soundtracks here. We can go down a list. There are so many amazing soundtracks that kind of just hum. You can hum to yourself and say, "Dang, I was there when I played this game back in who knows what, Double Dragon." Everyone knows the iconic freaking title screen. Yeah, everyone knows it. Everyone knows the soundtrack. Street Fighter 2, another one, iconic soundtrack. Um, Tetris for the Game Boy. Come on. Ding, 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 ding. Listen, all those games had something that resonated with them. Then of course you have Chrono Trigger. If you actually remember, I think there was a certain creator that makes game music with their mouths or something like that. I forgot what it was, but he
A
actually
bunch of acapella groups.
yes, exactly. I think it was the name of something McGee or something like that. He actually
There's a few of
does.
them.
Yeah, he
Really
he
good.
he did a lot of iconic, iconic soundtracks. But I also want to give a shout out to him because I think he also lost his best friend, little cat that always shows up in his videos. So, but I'm pretty sure he moved on from that. But he actually made a new soundtrack too. I think really without him, it almost doesn't seem the same because he always pops up in the middle of his songs. Final Fantasy VII. Everyone knows One Wing Angel.
Or
That soundtrack echoes in my brain every single time that I got to that last stage, and everyone knows it. Oh,
you know what? Here's,
yes.
here's a funny thing though. You probably know this. Kenny Omega named his signature move after that song, which is hilarious.
That's right. Oh,
Wait,
snap!
One
what?
Wing
Cool.
I'm
Angel.
sorry?
Kenny
Kenny
Omega.
Omega names
Yeah.
his signature move the One Wing Angel. He named it after that song.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't he
Puts the guy
also
like an electric chair, and he grabs him by the hand and he slams him right down.
doesn't he
Yeah.
doesn't he also have a ring entrance that actually has
Oh
you know,
he does those like ring entrances for like he would dress up like in Final Fantasy. I think he did dress up as Sephiroth in one of his
Sephiroth,
entrances.
yes, he
Could be
did.
wrong, but he
Yeah.
does dress up like in cosplays and he takes like music for like Final Fantasy theme songs. Like it has to be like for a special event like Wrestle Kingdom. But yeah, he's a big Final Fantasy fanatic. But that he did call it. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's how popular the One Wing Angel song is.
Yeah, well, here's another one. I mean, Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda, iconic. That battle theme.
Of course, that's iconic.
Iconic. And then of course you had
Yeah,
modern classics. Halo with that Gregorian chant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, everyone's going to know that one.
yes, sir. We
Yes.
all have actually been there. We done it. We listened to it, and it just resonates with you, and it stays with you. And there are a lot of amazing soundtracks. I can go on and on. Let's talk about Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. There was actually Journey, which is actually an amazing indie game.
You got the
that came
Persona
out.
games. Yep.
Persona, all the Persona games. Exactly. Undertale.
yeah.
Undertale, actually, my gosh. Undertale was
Yeah.
another one. It's like indie game that actually had an amazing, iconic soundtrack. And then of
Mhm.
course there's also one amazing artist I will mention, but I want you guys to kind of throw out your favorite, something that actually resonated with you, something that kind of said, "Hey, this song I could put on my playlist and I can listen to it over and over again." What do you got? What do you guys got?
Me, Ninja Gaiden and Marvel vs. Capcom 1. I have those playing all day while I'm working.
Ooh, Marvel vs. Capcom. Well,
NES
that's a
Ninja
very
Gaiden, but I
that's
found
a
like
very interesting
remasters
one.
and remixes. I found all types of
Ooh, that's a very
any
interesting
versions,
one.
man. I dig them. And
Mm.
Marvel vs.
Right.
Capcom, for some reason, yeah, when I put on the Captain America theme, I work really well. It's like a motivator. I think fighting game music is
His
designed
song
for
is
that.
iconic.
It's supposed to
Yeah.
entertain you without distracting you, and that's why I chose video game music for work.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Right. So,
What about you, Johnny?
for me though, I mean, are we gonna mention? Do we mention artists, or we're just gonna mention songs though?
Let's we can do songs and artists. Let's throw that in there. Why not?
Okay. Well, I'd like to mention. Want to give a big shout out to Mr. Dan Forden, who has done the Mortal Kombat soundtracks. He's done all the Mortal Kombat soundtracks because he started off with Mortal Kombat 1. I mean, the first, I'm talking about the first Mortal Kombat game, not the one that came out recently. He started off as a Shaolin martial arts tournament, and then the second game, he took that music and the atmosphere, the environment was dark, and he's able to match that music with the environment. It's incredible, and he did that with Mortal Kombat 3. And then he did that for all the Mortal Kombat games throughout the years. And his music is just incredible he takes that music and it interacts and it has the same interacting to the environment, which is incredible. And the Castlevania series. One particular person I want to mention, her name is Michiru Yamane. And she has done Castlevania Bloodlines. She has done Sympathy of the Night, Army of Disclosure, Arrow of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, Limit of Existence, Curse of Darkness, Betrayal of Ruin, Order of Eleskis. And then she went on to work on the Bloodstained games, Curse of the Moon, and Retro of the Night. And get this, she also did the what's it called, the Rocket Knight Adventures. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh my God! Rocket Knight
That was
Adventures.
one of her-
Wow, that's a throwback, baby. Holy cow! Sega Genesis.
Yes, she has worked on those, and she worked on the Game Boy games. She worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. That was one of her first projects.
Wow, I didn't. You know what? That one's new. I had no idea she actually touched that because that soundtrack was pretty darn good for the Game Boy. I actually played that game recently with the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. I was playing that game and I forgot how easy it was. But the soundtrack was actually pretty damn good for a Game Boy. I mean, you talking about only talking about two sound channels and everything, and that game actually was slapping. It was good. It was really good. Holy
really
cow!
Good. And she also did Crime Fighters 2 Vendetta, the arcade game, beat 'em up from Konami.
Oh, the sequel.
That was another one she worked on.
That was funny story. That game right there was a lesser known. They didn't really make that many arcade cabinets for that one. The first one, yes, but the second one, not so much. I'm surprised.
Right.
I think it was they only did like 1,000. No, not even 1,000. I think it was like 500. They only did 500.
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, but going back to Yamane's music though, like her music is like so incredible. It's a mix of classical music, with a little bit of goth and horror to it, and then there's some that's there's nice and silent and sweet. That it's like some of her music is relaxing, but then when you get to that final part, like if you remember, if any of you play Castlevania Bloodlines, the last stage is it's very hype music and it's so memorable. Like it makes you feel like, okay, this is the final stage in Bloodlines. I'm up to the last stage. I'm ready to fight not only Dracula, but if I want to get to Dracula, I have to fight Death and I have to fight Dracula's niece, Elizabeth Bregler. So That's 3 bosses. So that music gets you hyped that you have a big battle going on. And the same thing with Limit of Innocence, that you finally got that vampire killer whip, and you're ready to take your revenge against the I can't believe I forgot that vampire's name though. The vampire, it wasn't Dracula, but it was a vampire that turned Leon Belmont's wife, that she was become a vampire. She had to sacrifice herself to become create the vampire killer whip. So so that music right there like pumps you up to get your revenge on him.
Was that Donald Sorrow, that game right there?
No, it was Limit of Innocence. I can't believe I forgot that vampire's name though. That you had to fight. It
Lament of Innocence, right? Lament of Innocence.
Yeah.
I
cannot believe I forgot his name.
I think I know who the last boss is. Hold on a second.
Walter was his name. Okay.
Well, yes, Walter. There you go. Yes, you got it.
Walter, I cannot believe it just popped into my head though. And yes, it was Walter. Yeah, you had to you're getting your revenge with Walter, and that music that she created for that final stage is like it pumps you up. It was so memorable, you know. So that's why I always love her music, because you want a game that when you get to that final stage, you want something to be like, okay, this is it. You're at the final stage, and you're ready to go. You want something to pump you up and get ready to take on this final boss and finish this game once and for all. So you want something like that.
Yes, good.
And she nails it.
Wow. So yeah, that's some good picks right there, man. I mean, that's that, especially for so ranged as her music. You know, being a music composer for video games, you know, it's almost like euphoric in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to make a mention to a artist and video game composer that I kind of fell into, and I didn't know who he was or anything like that. But for the Sega Genesis, he actually helped compose a memorable game. Was competing with Final Fight at the time, Streets of Rage, or Bare Knuckle in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The most iconic soundtrack that anybody could ever listen to. It was it had a little mix of jazz and hip hop and a little bit of grunge, and it was really, really solid. And he really hit his stride with the sequel, Streets of Rage 2. You know, especially Go Straight.
Mm-hmm.
That first stage alone, gets you pumped, gets you hyped. It just is like, yes, I want to play through it. Amazing. He actually had a very good range of amazing games. I mean, Streets of Rage was also not his only works. I mean, he actually did the E series or YS. Mm-hmm. If you're not familiar with that. You know, he actually helped do the compositions for the E's 1 and 2, I believe it was for the PC Engine at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually did that soundtrack. Revenge of Shinobi. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Listen, most iconic soundtrack that anybody could ever. If you have not played Revenge of Shinobi, what are you doing? I don't understand it. You want to play this new Shinobi game? Okay, great. Have you ever played any of the other games? Have you played the arcade version of Shinobi? No, you haven't. What are you doing?
Start playing them now.
Oh my God, play them now.
Start playing.
You're missing out.
Shinobi and play Shinobi 3.
Oh my God.
Play those games.
3 soundtrack.
Joe Musashi and everything.
That was amazing.
He needs you to understand his lore. So my suggestion is stop. No. Don't stop here. Wait until the podcast is over. But you need to go and jump on to play some Shinobi. Okay? I'm pretty sure they have all different types of compilations now. You can get that game anywhere now. Come on. What are you doing? Anyway,
get Get yourself this Genesis Classic Collection that has all the Shinobi games.
Yes,
Right there.
yes. What are you
has
doing?
Revenge of Shinobi, Shadow Dancer, and
Get
Shinobi
'em.
3's on there.
Get them. Play them.
Get it.
Do it now. Do it now. So anyway,
do it.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now. So we also got ActRaiser. Come on, ActRaiser, bro. Come on, man. That game was one of those action RPGs that people just completely forget about. It was an absolute amazing game. Kind of weird in a sense because it's more like like a top down. You're trying to populate a certain area, and you also start to destroy the demon holes. I believe that just popped up in the area. And once you actually get your cities built, you can actually have them actually plug up the hole and save a certain civilization as you move on to the other one. It's pretty awesome. You play that game.
Great game.
But the soundtrack, I'm talking about soundtracks here. My God, love it for the first stage. Good, goosebumps, amazing soundtrack. He has also he revitalized MIDI style music in such a way that really is I can't really say unfathom at this point because a lot of artists out there are pretty much kind of piggybacking off his work, and he revolutionized the MIDI tunes for the Sega Genesis, which only had about 8 sound channels. There was only 8 sound channels on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And he created this epic soundtrack, which it just blows my mind.
It was incredible that limited work that he had doing. He was able to create that music.
Yeah, with a limited technology.
That's so amazing.
It's like beats and boys.
That's a talent,
it's just amazing.
Man.
He was able to come out with that. That's incredible.
That's and he still uses that technology now. He goes to clubs and he plays the same Streets of Rage soundtrack, and people are digging it, man. Come on, bro. You got he actually founded a company called Ancient Corp, which is a game development company. So he actually had his own game company, and in 1990. This is like after Streets of Rage, around Streets of Rage 2 time. He actually had his own company. Then of course he also he actually worked under a studio composer. His name was Joe. I'm butchering his name, but Hisaichi, I believe is Hisaichi. He's actually a composer. Yes. He actually worked with Studio Ghibli's films. So Studio Ghibli, which is actually a very, very popular, this was a very obscure animated, very highly animated movies that came out. The very emotional ones. I believe I'm trying to remember some of the Studio Ghibli films. It's blows my mind that some people didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I actually was looking some of this stuff up. I said, "Oh wow, he has a deep." It
kind of tracks ActRaiser and Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Of course, it sounds natural that he would be involved.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Then, of course, he actually created soundtrack for a short but well-known game, Super Adventure Island, for the Super Nintendo. He actually did the soundtrack. And some people didn't even realize that. It kind of fell under the radar because it wasn't really like a highly popular game. It was not the same style as the NES version, because the NES version was more like a pick your own adventure type of thing. You can just be able to choose where you want to go. But the Super Nintendo version was more like a straightforward action game. But the soundtrack, listen to the soundtrack of Super Adventure Island. You'll sit right there and you'll be grooving through every single stage, and especially if you do the water stages, dude. Wow, that's insane. Um, Unbelievable. I mean, I still think he's the most iconic to me, most iconic composer that I can think of. And he also recently just shout out to the happy console gamer. He has recently made the soundtrack for his podcast. Can you believe that? He has for his show, for his own.
That's
thing.
freaking awesome.
He actually created the theme song for his show. I can't believe it. I was flabbergasted. And he said he was working with them for a while because he's actually, believe it or not, followed his work for a long, long time. And as he was a fan, he was like a super fan in a sense. And so, because he was well informative, that soundtrack, I actually listened to it. And I was like, damn, it was good. It's really, really good. Well thought out. But I can keep it going on. I mean, let's talk about Super Castlevania 4. Super Castlevania 4 was another game that he actually did the soundtrack to. Super Castlevania 4. Who'd have thought that was him? He actually literally worked on that with I believe we worked with what was her name? Was it? I'm trying to look it up. What was her name? No. Oh yes, Masanori Adachi and Taro Kudo.
Like in Yakuza.
Yes.
Yes.
From
Like a Dragon. Yeah.
So yes, they have worked or collaborated with him to create a most iconic Castlevania soundtrack that actually snaps. I mean, still had the same atmospheric type of soundtrack, but it was more his style. So wild. Gosh, man. I mean, I can go on and on. Bloody Tears is still my favorite soundtrack. Everyone knows Bloody Tears. Everyone knows Bloody Tears.
Of course. And then there's Simon's theme music, and that's also in Castlevania Bloodlines also.
Yep. There
That's how popular that song is that they put it in the other Castlevania games.
Exactly. So, let's see. You know what? I can gush about him all day. But let's move on to another great iconic artist that he had a little bit of controversy, of course. If you know about the Amico, I think it was called Amico. What's it called again? It's a little mini console. I don't know. It's pretty much forgettable. But Tommy Tallarico. Let's talk about Tommy Tallarico for a second. He actually, right now, is still doing the video game concerts, the video games live. He's still doing that. Oh, that's right. It's called the Amico. I'm sorry, the Amico, the television Amico. He was actually working with a television and trying to bring back the console. Didn't do too well because the crowdfunding was actually almost like a sham. Sorry, he had to put it out there. But his music is iconic. If you actually listen to the Terminator soundtrack for the Sega CD.
Great soundtrack, by the way.
Oh my gosh, so well done. He actually founded Tommy Tallarico Studios. He composed music for Earthworm Jim. Here's a throwback. How about MDK? MDK.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Came out for the PC. Also came out for console. Came out for the Super. I think it came out for the PlayStation. PlayStation.
The PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation.
I played it on PS1.
Yeah, PS1. Then it originally came out for the Dreamcast. MDK2. I'm sorry, MDK2 came out for the Dreamcast. What an amazing talent he actually did, and I think he also did. What's it called again? I think it was called Dex, or what's it called again? Dex, Vex?
Is that the one with the lizard you're talking about? That is Gex.
Not
Oh,
Gex, not Gex. It was
wait.
what was
I
that
think
guy?
you're right. Hold on.
Oh my goodness gracious, what's that game's name? He actually did the soundtrack to that one too. I forgot what it was called though. Oh my goodness gracious. And the character's name, I know the character's name was Wex. My goodness gracious. What is that game? Oh, well, I'll keep on looking for it, but he actually did a soundtrack for that, and I think he also helped, develop the game too. And it came out for the PlayStation One. It was like side scrolling 3D, almost like a 2D, 2.5D type of stages. In lieu of games like what was it called? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on these games. I actually had them down. I should have put that down. But it's iconic how he just wanted to revolutionize how music was made for games. Like he wanted to do it in more of a in lieu of a movie like experience when it comes to the theatrical whimsical soundtracks with actual guitars and actual musicians and actual instruments. That was his forte when it came to video game music, and he was a pioneer for these type of games. He was, and anybody who says otherwise, I guess really have, lived under a rock for a little while. But he has had pretty much pushed the boundary to certain game soundtracks, and I appreciate him for that. I think is there any other standouts that come to mind? Oh, yeah, I have a few. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I was going to mention Mick Gordon.
Oh yes, that's right. Doom.
We could talk about
Yes.
Doom, and then he also did the Killer Instinct soundtrack as well.
Listen, Killer Instinct, and you know Johnny the more, but that I know that Killer Instinct, not the Super Nintendo version, because Super Nintendo version was actually I believe it wasn't Mick Gordon, it was oh goodness gracious, what is his name? The one who did the original soundtrack.
Did he do the boss music for when you fight Gargus?
Yes, he did.
It sounds like I thought that was Metallica. I thought it was Metallica. That's how good it was.
Are you talking about the Killer Instinct 2013 one, or are you talking about Killer Instinct 2?
Killer Instinct 1. The original Killer Instinct. Yeah, the original soundtrack, because believe it or not, Mick Gordon actually gained the inspiration for the new soundtrack for 2013. And gosh, I'm trying. Why is he blanking? I actually had that name on the tip of my. Let me see. I think I can pull that up right now.
Yeah, he also did the Wolfenstein series as well.
And also, believe he didn't. I didn't even know this. He actually did the soundtrack for Atomic Heart. That came. I can't believe he actually. I didn't even know that. I didn't even bother to look. But he actually did this. He did that soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Composer.
His hardcore music was really well
Mm-hmm.
done.
Let me see if I can actually pull it up. No, Mick Gordon. There was another character. There's another guy. No. Killer Instinct complete soundtrack. What's his name? Oh, Robin Beelan. That's his name. Robin Beelan. He's the one that created the original soundtrack. which was actually still iconic to this very day. You know, from very very title screen to the ending credits, he had to credit all of that. And Graham Nordgate is actually another one. He actually helped with the compositions of Killer Instinct, the original Killer Instinct. Then of course Mick Gordon, came in and volunteered to create the composer to the Killer Instinct 2013 version. And right now, I still think I think that Mick Gordon pretty much took the crown on that one. So good.
Yeah,
Every
I can
single
agree with that.
soundtrack, yeah, every single soundtrack, everything was so good about Killer Instinct. You cannot go wrong. And then let's and I mean, God, man,
every character's theme music fits with them so perfectly.
all the time. I mean, listen, what's it called? What was my favorite? This is my favorite soundtracks out of that whole entire one, the whole entire game. I can say Orchid is actually one of them. All right, it's still one of my favorite characters.
I love TJ Combo though.
TJ Combo was actually it was a good one, but not one of my favorites. I actually liked it though. I mean, really did, because who did the soundtrack?
Jago's is pretty good. I like.
Jago was actually very good.
And Spiral is his music.
Oh, Spiral! My God!
It just fits perfectly with his character.
So good,
it's amazing.
Man. Oh my God!
So amazing.
Oh my goodness! Who I was thinking about? Oh goodness, man!
I could hear Jago screaming in the background down my head.
Yep. Yes. Awesome. Love it. Oh yeah. Yes. It'll come to mind, but these games resonate with everybody, and soundtracks actually will carry with you throughout your entire lifetime. Everyone always hums tunes, and probably under their breath, puts it inside their. I even had mixtapes. I had mixtapes of soundtracks to like. If you ever played Legendary Wings? I played Legendary Wings for the NES. I actually literally Capcom, I had the entire soundtrack on mini tape. I had my little boombox right next to the screen, and I would record the entire soundtrack to
I did the same thing with the Street Fighter Alpha series.
I did that with Moonwalker.
You did that with Moonwalker? Wow.
Yeah, which is messed up because I had the actual albums, records.
Yeah.
And I still recorded it.
Wow. That's wild. Another honorable mention, I had to throw that out there. Space Megaforce. What an amazing soundtrack, for a shooter, for a top-down shooter. I still consider that one of my favorite soundtracks. Also, I fire that up once in a while on my emulator and stuff like that, because I still can't find it to this very day. Still can't find the cartridge. I know it's out there. I know somebody has it, and I'm hoping against hope that one of these days it will fall into my lap. But alas, when I go online, they inflated the freaking price to that game to all high hell. And I hate you. I hope your hands.
Unfortunately.
I hope your hands and everything get full of boils, and your nails and everything feel like it feels like razor blades. I just.
Oh, that's brutal, man. Holy crap!
I'm sorry, but you guys do not deserve. You guys do not deserve the games that you actually have in your hands. They deserve to be played. Not put them into some display case and everything somewhere in the thing with a light frying it. I'm sorry. It's just not, video games will be made to be played.
Yeah, I know. So, there's some people out there that actually collect these games, and they said that to themselves that, I don't think I'll ever touch these games. So why are you buying them?
So why are you buying them? Just to have them? Just to have them?
That doesn't make sense to me.
It makes my wall look pretty. It makes my wall look pretty.
Are like that, but some of them are.
Look,
not all of them are like that, but some of them are.
I have my whole entire collection. Look, I got it from A to Z. You like it? It's so cool. Okay, that's nice. What games have you not played? Oh, I had to play them? Bruh. Okay. Anyway, we're about closing up on the end of this show. What are your final thoughts? I mean, out of the three subjects, obviously you guys have a lot to say, but what have you guys been playing? I mean, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience what's been on in your box? What's inside your game console lately?
I've been talking with our friends in the chat right now, man. But right, I just beat Devil May Cry 3
Nice.
a couple nights ago, and I just restarted 4, and I'm about halfway through there now.
Cool.
And I still got to get back to Expedition 33. I just am stuck, and I don't feel like grinding right now, so I went to play something else real quick. But I want to finish that story because it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
I played both. I was going to tell Tony that I played both versions of Devil May Cry 4 and the special edition that came out on the Xbox One, though.
Special edition's nice, right?
Yeah, because they added, you could play as Trish, Lady, and Virgil.
Yeah.
They added more characters to it, so
I couldn't do that the first time around.
No, you can't. You can only play as Dante and
special edition is awesome.
It's fantastic, definitely. But going back to what Tony was asking me, what I'm still playing, I'm playing Okami, and then once I finish Okami, I'm gonna go pull out my Nintendo DS. I'm gonna play Okami Done. So, but that's a game that's very hard right now. So let me see if I can pull it out. If you just give me 1 second. So.
All right.
Yo, we got the same chair.
Do we now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you guys probably don't remember this. This is Okami Dog because this game is very rare right now. If you go on eBay, people will sell this game like a fortune because now the sequel Okami is coming out. Now people's gonna want to try to go back and play the original Okami, and they're gonna when they find out there's Intel DS of Okami Dog was supposed to be a sequel, they're gonna look for that one, and that game is very rare right now. So. I figured I'd show that.
It's almost torture when it comes down to certain games being unattainable because people are hoarding them and actually buying them for like such a price, and then you find that the price is completely inflated, 10 times the price that it normally was, and it's a shame. That's the same thing happened with Earthbound. Remember Earthbound? I mean, no one made any type of iteration until recently, obviously. And the NES version was like the only one available, and it was a travesty in that thing. Seeing it online, going for like hundreds of dollars, and you.
Oh, they're going a lot more than that.
A lot more than that. As a matter of fact, it was like I think the last time I saw it, like way back then, it was like going for almost 1,000. It was like it was up there though. It was actually a high amount. And but me, let me talk about what I've been playing. Expedition 33.
Discuss.
Expedition 33 is one of those games where I just been dissecting the entire, just not even bite-sized morsels of it. It's just so engaging, and I'm pretty sure, Tony, no spoilers, you already know before Act 2 what actually happened. You already know. And
before I got stuck.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, it kind of threw me back in a sense. And now that I'm further into Act 2, I'm not gonna go into any spoilers. But that scene alone set the tone for the entire game. I mean, that scene alone, just wow. I thought the first prologue was that deep cut. My goodness. Wow.
I got something to look forward to.
It literally you will sit right there and I don't want to say anything further, but
Please, please.
Man, I am not. I can't.
Yeah,
No
so let's
spoilers.
not
No
spoil for the
spoilers at
people
all.
that can
No
play.
spoilers at all. I can't. I can't gush about this game enough. But my
It's like
God,
the 2-year
my
rule.
God, if this game does not get Game of the Year, if this game does not get
You
Game of
said
the
this plenty of
Year,
times, but I understand why you keep saying it.
it's like
I totally understand.
I've never like we already talked about our
It's really
first
good.
topic. We talked about the first
Yeah.
topic. We were talking about like games that actually impacted. I have a feeling that this
Mhm.
right here is a new impact of my life. It really is. It's so
Right.
an emotional roller coaster ride. Let's just put it to you that way. An emotional roller coaster ride. Question you about everything, and just like the path that you're taking and stuff like that. Are you making the choice that you feel like you need to take, and you still want to go down this deep rabbit hole, and you just want to keep on digging, and wow, just wow. Anyway, all right, folks. This is about that time. The time is nigh.
Oh man.
I know we want to keep on going.
I know. Oh,
I know we
yeah.
do.
So much more
but-
music I can talk about.
But
man.
yeah, there you go. But you know what though?
We'll discuss more of it.
We-
I'm pretty sure
We have a lot more to
I'm pretty
discuss.
sure there's going to be some other times that we'll be able to discuss more about our favorite soundtracks, though. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Listen, guys. I mean, I might as well throw some awesome tidbits here. We have built a small little Patreon. You guys can visit now. Get on the Patreon now. It's free to join. But if you wanted to jump into some tiers, you can definitely help us out. If you actually do, we'll put your name on a nice little scroll that's going to happen on our screen. And of course, there's actually also a founders one that I actually kind of built. If you actually decide to do that, I have some awesome special things for you I've been working on in the background. You guys are gonna really enjoy it. Trust me, it's worthwhile. So I'm actually going to be putting on the websites actually fairly shortly. I actually didn't have an opportunity to put it on to the stream, but I will be able to type it in the chat, so that way you guys can actually see exactly where to go to the Patreon. You can even go to my X site to find it as well. It's actually on Patreon / Gamers Play Company. It's actually part of the gaming treble. Gaming treble is part of it. It's big. It's big. It's very very big. And I want you guys to be a part of it. I want you to be a part of the journey. I want you to build it strong, so we can actually have the sounds of treble build to the point where it actually just overflows. And I'm going to contribute it back to the community. The community is actually going to get a lot of great stuff. We have unboxings to do. We have giveaways that are going to be happening soon. But we want to hit those high points. Listen, we're almost at 100. We're almost there. Come on, we're at 20. We're at 20. I think we're at 19 now. 19 subscribers left. What are we at? How many we have left? I think 79. 80 already. Wow, we're almost there, man. We're almost
Tell you
there.
what, we get to 1,000 followers, I'll take you to lunch. Personally. 1,000 followers.
Oh wow.
Hey.
Hey,
I have a
listen,
feeling that was
that's a
gonna bite
treat.
me, man.
That's a treat because
Whatever.
he doesn't take any of us to lunch. So you guys are going to be getting
I'll
an
buy you
awesome
guys lunch.
and we
How
have to
about
sit
that?
right there.
Okay. We'll believe until we see it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. So yes, we're still at 79 subscribers. Hey, listen, if you're listening right now, come on, subscribe now. Let's do it. Let's try to get to 100. We have a little bit of time left. But anyways, I'm Torrance Hudson.
I'm Tony San Miguel.
And I'm Johnny Elisea.
And we will see you next time on Gaming Treble. Keep it gaming and keep on leveling up.
Play on, players. Woohoo!
Remember, gaming's all